Hey, let's talk about the last 20 years of my life in photography and what I've learned. I kind of want to preface this by saying a couple things right off the bat. These are essentially just insights. These aren't advice. These are just things that I've noticed over the last 20 years. I consider myself a pro amateur. I've definitely been paid to do work for businesses and publications. But that being said, I think I've done more for myself as a photographer than I've done for people for money. This video is not going to be about what to do and how to get jobs and stuff like that. This is just insights over the 20 years of photography. I don't think you can buy a bad camera in 2024. I've been shooting on my Sony a6500 for the past several years and I haven't upgraded my camera. I even use a pretty bad lens. Camera gear has always been an interesting one because I find that I watch a lot of YouTube reviews on buying cameras, and you know, now it's just impossible. I personally think it's impossible to buy a bad camera. If you're a sports photographer, if you're a wildlife photographer, you're a landscape photographer, there's certain things that might be important for you to consider when buying a camera body. But you know, at the end of the day, if you're just somebody who's going to be doing street photography, I don't think you can really buy a bad camera right now. I think that of all the things that survived over the course of me changing from Nikon, Sony, and Canon, my 50mm 1.2 L lens from Canon has stayed with me the longest. It's good glass. I will never get rid of it, and I have adapters that allow me to switch it from body to body, and I can even switch it on this body, the Sony. So yeah, keep it in mind that, you know, if you do tend to want to upgrade your camera, your best bet is to probably just go buy a camera that came out 3-4 years ago, get a really good discount on it, and you'll be fine. Chasing trends. I think it was like 2019. There was the trend of the high saturated, like kind of low, not high, yeah, very, no, sorry, not high saturated, high contrast, low saturation photos. At a certain point, it permeated like through all of social media at the time. I realized ultimately that wasn't my style of photography. When you're trying to be authentic to your art and who you are, it sometimes feels like to sort of game the system, you have to play the game for it. Make sure it's something that you want to do. Don't chase trends, chase stuff that you like doing. And if you find that the trend that happens to be popular at the time is something you like doing, then so be it. But I think it's better to be true to yourself about the art that you want to create right off the get-go than it is to kind of shoot yourself in the foot in the long run and then sort of conform to a niche that you hate. There are going to be photos that you take and that you like, actually that you love, and you're going to show it to people and no one's going to love it. One of my favorite photographers is a lovely lady by the name of Rinko Kauch. I consider her style of photography unremarkably remarkable images, and I use that term to describe the fact that she takes photos of essentially mundane things, things that are just everyday life, in the context of how she views the world, in the context of how she puts together her photo books, her philosophy, especially on how she shoots. When you look at it through the lens of all those things combined, you actually have a greater appreciation for the ethereal nature of how she shoots how her photos come into a cohesive sort of package. And I think that's kind of one of those things where I think that, you know, I've shot a lot of things over the years that I love, and I couldn't tell you how many people did not care for it. I have a certain philosophy about my photography, and if you get to talk to the artist and you understand the philosophy of the artist and what they're shooting, you might look at the photo differently. There's something I've realized: you got to balance hubris and humility in order to be successful in this career. I did not do either of those. I didn't have enough hubris to say that I was good enough, but I had so much humility to say that I wasn't good enough. I always underestimated the quality of my work against people who were better than me. And the problem with people being better than you is that your idea of people being better than you is just people who've been doing it longer than you. Be bold enough to say that I can do the work, and be wise enough to say I don't know everything about the work. I'm a photographer. I've been a DJ for the past 8 years. I mostly talk about art on this channel, and I'll probably talk about a bunch of other random stuff here and there, but all within the realm of film, photography, maybe pop culture a little bit, and music, but and Japan. I love Japan. I'm probably going to be talking about Japan a lot. That might be my next video. Anyways, hit that like and subscribe button if you care to follow me through my journey on this, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you on the next one.